Hey YouTube, this is Rhapsody and Pulse.
I'm Rose.
I'm Nikki.
Sorry. This is Code Geass, Glorification.
Whoa!
So this is the third movie in the franchise, the final of the recap movies, and it seems to be the longest by 5 minutes. So yeah, I mean everything's kind of starting to change now. We're seeing Jeremiah and Shirley had an interaction they didn't have before. That's probably the biggest thing of the last movies, I would say. Yeah. I mean.
And Rolo's relationship with Lelouch is still the same, but he got the locket later than he was supposed to.
Yeah, but he just has the locket so he can die within his hands. Really, they just had to make sure to clear that condition.
Yes,
yeah.
You know,
conditions are clear. Yeah, very interested to see which way they take this. See where the Shirley stuff is going, because I mean, I haven't had time to hate her. She's not been on the screen. And we got some Suzaku POV in the very ending of last season, which kind of put into perspective the pain he was going through. Yeah. You guys got anything before we get into this last one?
Other than, I'm excited and scared.
Me too. I hope that they change a lot very suddenly.
Please.
In the very last 5 minutes.
No,
that'd be hilarious.
No.
Give more.
Now.
See you in discussion. Music.
Oh man. It sounds like Amen.
Kinda, actually. Action figures.
Uh-oh. That is what it's for, Rolo. Oh no.
Rolo jealousy started.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it is happening. That's why he went off on his own. Is that different?
I don't remember him saying that, but then again, we don't remember a lot of things. The show has us questioning our sanity.
Yeah. And then the foot to the foot.
The lips are really not matching with what he's saying.
How are they immune?
I don't know.
How are they immune? No. I'll assume he was walking ahead of them.
Yeah?
I'll fix your plot hole.
Yeah, what did you expect?
That guy.
Why did you say it like that? Oh, that's right. He looks like he's coming, but he's not. That's interesting. He said it this time. Last time the Emperor said it and he got that message and he was very upset.
Yeah.
Baby.
Fox.
Oh, they changed the gender of all these guys.
Oh yeah, I think they were girls.
They were all girls before.
Money.
Zap.
Oh. By walking like
Classic Frieza.
Yeah.
Frieza. Shut up.
I was like, shut up, Nina. Oh boy.
Oh,
the evil smile. Taking everything away.
I don't know why that was funny.
They didn't have the reveal this time in the conversation.
What reveal?
You remember the guy was like, what happened in the massacre? And then that made all the guys turn against Zero.
Right.
I think that happened before the conversation with them in the elevator with Toto.
No, it happened on the battlefield before everybody died.
Well, he tells Toto now, I think.
Well, he doesn't though.
No.
Dead.
Freaking Nina.
I know. I feel like that badge is like partially.
I think it's a train.
What do you mean? Oh, here we go. It still did it.
Yeah, that's still.
Yeah. Still hurts. Oh. Even though Rolo is a.
I can only half hate him.
Yeah, I know.
What happened to you, sir?
Yeah.
He is like, and?
Yeah.
Of course, Smitty's still alive. Rivals, which means Shirley's probably fine as well.
Oh, this time they done. Shirley is here.
I like how they wrote her out completely.
Yeah, why is Shirley here?
What was it? Everyone's just popping in. Hey.
Geass という力を持つブリタニアの元王子、ルルーシュ。
It starts.
That's new.
I'm about to cry. Oh,
it is different.
Yeah.
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 Flex on.
Little bra. His voice is so incredible.
Yes.
Mundane things.
I'm a kill god. You're
Gerber.
Oh, he had a beating.
He's so mad.
Here
I
comes
do remember
Lelouch.
Nobody can hear you from there.
I know.
Yeah, I remember.
He's just reminding himself.
Yeah, I just need to know who I am. Oh, interesting. He didn't suspect Anya last time.
No, I don't think so.
I'll write that one down.
I thought that the first time
Yeah.
I heard it. I was like,
Still
that's
good.
a life lesson right there. That's
Still
a life
good.
skill.
Man's a dragon.
貴様がこの場所に入ってくれたおかげで勝利の目算が取った。
神話の時代から男を惑わすのは女だってお話。
マリアンヌ様。
あなたたち下がりなさいと。
Wow, yeah, I remember that. So he just pulls out a Tommy gun. Yeah. Out of nowhere.
Oh, that
okay,
one like
that-
put one on top of the other like thing markings. Shut up, Nina.
Shut up.
バラバラだった意識が一つにつながるのは良いことでしょ。 死んだ人とだって一緒になれるのよ。ユーフェミアだって。
やはりそうか。お前たちはそれをいいことだと思っている。しかしそれは押し付けた善意だ。悪意と何ら変わりがない。時が来るわ。
I'm kind of surprised Suzaku didn't take her up on that.
Yeah.
It's his sole motivation.
お前たちは俺とナナリーを捨てたんだよ。
でもそれは守ろうとして。
日本とブリタニアの戦争を止めなかったのはなぜだ。
Yeah. Got you there.
王の力では神に勝てに勝ち負けじゃない。これは願いだ。そう、俺は今こそ自分を知った。神よ、集合の意識を。
They're like, hey, yo, what's up?
止めないでくれ。こんなことは誰もユーフィを望んではいなかった。それでも俺は明日が欲しい。
Whoa. I think that looked cooler this time around.
It did.
Are those people falling? It looks like people
It is.
falling. She's like, sorry, I jumped off the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
お前の世界は俺が否定する。
Even his scream is cool.
Yeah. Bye.
その前に確かめねばならないことがある。偽りの空中なあ。
From the monarch of deceit.
That's a cool line.
Oh, it changed.
Wait, it did change.
Hmm.
Suzaku was like, I wanna,
Murder.
like he was gonna kill him.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, it doesn't matter about
He-
Yuffie or something like that.
Yeah.
どうしたの？学校に来なくなって。
It's been a year.
いろいろとあると思うけどさ、そのジェレミアさんって知ってる？ナナちゃんのこととかルルも。
Jeremy had told.
Yeah, remember in the street?
私ね。
All right.
私何があってもルルのこと好きだから、味方だから何かしようとしてるんだよね。
Oh, she just thinks it's
だ
him.
から私も手伝うから私もルルの。
Because nobody said anything.
At least you survived this time.
Yeah.
But why? Like, to what end?
Yeah, what is she gonna do?
In his school uniform.
Like, why?
将軍しよう。我が騎士クルルギスザク。彼にはラウンズを超えるラウンズ。
Round beyond the other rounds.
Note of Zero smug smile. I love it so much.
迎撃部隊。しかしたった一機で
We only need one.
追いかけきれない。
He's like, just one is
Can't
enough.
track it.
Already. Yeah.
大丈夫になることと聞いたら。
Oh yes. What is your Geass, sir?
You don't remember?
No, I don't. I couldn't remember. Oh, that's right. See the future.
Hacks.
Hey.
Wow.
Wow.
Right down the middle.
Bye. Bye.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Oh, new scene. What?
What?
The hell?
What?
What?
開放の象徴として扱うことを提言いたします。
Whoa.
Wait, what?
クルルギスザク。売国のアスキ
That's very different.
Yeah.
ルルーシが各国代表を人質に取った。
But why?
Ugh. They didn't lock him up this time.
急に軍隊を送り込んできて。
私ブリタニアの帝都ペンドラゴンにフレイヤが落とされたそうです。
一時製造軍のフレイヤ弾頭が搭載されてい
They
る。
didn't do the whole scene in there.
Yeah.
They just skipped it.
Whole thing.
ブリタニアの皇帝にふさわしいのは
Dun dun dun.
しかし製造したはずのフレイヤはなくなっている。景気モードを渡す。
Hey. Man's just jumped from the sky.
フレイヤ弾頭を撃ち込んだ。
それが分かっていてなぜ？
ではギアスの方が正しいというのです。
Well, it didn't, you know, destroy.
Suzaku didn't have this conversation.
私に嘘をつ
I don't know.
It was with Lelouch.
I've stopped trying to guess.
No, I'm not. I'm not stopping. I need to pick up every single thing that's different.
エレシ戦
appreciate that.
Yeah. Imagine if he had been there the whole series.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Snap out of it. Tokyo Battle 1.
Would have been like 6 episodes.
勝手な言い分だな。ルルーシュは君の共犯者なんだ。共犯者。
No, she's her. She. I messed it up. He's
her.
His wife.
He's her.
He's her husband. What?
That's all he's trying to say.
Oh, okay. It's just as sweet as it was the first time.
You know, thinking about it, I actually don't like his justification of we can't stop for the sake of all those who have died. Because that's kind of like the reason most of the conflicts that were going on before were continually happening.
Who?
Like, when Lelouch said we
Lelouch's
can't
thing?
stop for the sake of those who have died,
Okay.
I just find it to be a poor reasoning for someone trying to make a new world.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
all
he was
the
holding the
philosophy,
sword,
everybody.
and I'm like,
Yes. Yeah, but everybody was having their final chat. Smash him!
you smashed that like button.
両力を砕こう。監視拡散波動銃砲戦闘。7番隊、射角が変動。現地が交代より交代より。敵は敵軍両翼に向け発射。
Yikes.
残念だよ。こんな形になるなんて。
I remember when she actually pressed it. We were like,
Yeah. What?
私はゼロを許しはしない。一生。でもそれとは別に私自身の答えを出さなきゃいけないと思ったから。ただそれだけなの。
Shut up, Nina. No, she's not.
Admire her. Do it now.
No!
初めてだよ。お前みたいな男。
And then Callan again!
Darn it, Callan! Get out of here, Callan!
さようなら、ルルーシュ。
Wow, she got it that fast.
Yeah.
その姿勢に対応する反応をぶつければ、フレイナの臨界反応は停止できる。
でも爆発までの約19秒で
Alright.
19 seconds before detonation.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's basically...
0.5 seconds of lag, guys!
No, he's basically Suzaku in mine.
What?
What?
Boink.
原理上は可能なはず。でも、ユーリア様。
The sequence is a little different, I think. Nice.
プレイヤーの初戦の機会。また作ればいいよ。しかし、この機会にはそこまで。
Or the world. Who holds the paradise?
今や世界中がルルーシュの敵だ。そのルルーシュを消し去ったシステムとなれば、さまざまな組織が喜んでプレイヤーを作ってくれるだろう。それはテロリズムにつながる。
He's like,
Yeah.
ナナリス様の意見も必要ないのでは。餌の考えなど。
Oh, died hard. Leaving his poor little sister. His bait. His pawn.
oh my gosh.
I find Shaz more sympathetic in this version because they cut out all the evil.
Yeah,
shit,
they
right?
cut out a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So you feel more for her.
We're talking about Schneider.
Oh. You feel more sympathetic for Snizel?
Yeah, in this version because they cut out a lot of the evil inner monologue,
Oh.
and so it just seems like he's doing greater good.
Like he's just straightforward doing things, you know?
Yeah, the moment.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh.
I love this ship.
Yeah.
私をそのように呼んでくれる。
Cause you're his princess.
Yeah.
だからこそあなたに俺はゼロに使えよという言葉をプレゼントしよう。
That was so, it was such a
so that moment, yes.
せめて最後はギアスを私リードホルトお前にはギアスを使う価値もない
He's like, no. Sucks to suck.
Oh, dude, he was pitiful.
He I don't know what he was.
I don't know what he was either. But in that moment, he was pitiful.
お兄様が死ぬことになったとしてもですからお兄様にプレイヤーこのタモクラスの鍵をお渡しすることはできませんお兄様がギアスを使われたとしても
I don't think she said that last
I
time.
don't remember.
No.
No.
But it makes no sense. She can't stop him.
No.
Well, maybe she thinks she can now.
Jeremiah.
All right, and Jeremiah's thing. Come on,
Yeah,
leave
yes,
it all
please.
in. Leave it all in, please.
弱い男タモクラスは憎しみの象徴になります
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
ここに集めるんですみんなで明日を
She's.
迎えるために
Oh.
The same mic.
Oh. Did he say that last time?
I don't think
It would have
so.
flown right over our
I
heads,
don't think
anyways.
so.
待たせ
I think it's for the benefit of us who's seen it. I'm like, oh.
お兄様
Her voice didn't have as crazy a change of sound.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
記録終了
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, number 1.
That
Goodbye, number 2. Here comes number 3. It's so good.
お前に敗北をもたらした記念すべき男の名前だ
I'm writing that one down.
関係ない
And
どうせ私には記憶が
記憶まさか
そんな届かなかったの
いや届いている
Yeah, you did get it.
imagine if Suzaku had Callan's machine.
I think they're kind of comparable at this point, but I do consider him throwing this. That's what we see later.
Yeah.
勝ったのか彼
Why did she pass out? It was her machine that went powered off.
They're like this.
Aww.
And stairs.
待ちなさい
Aww.
Didn't look behind him this time.
No. He didn't have his final words either. To her Geass face. We know it's not Cece. Why is she in her old work? What? Why is
Got
she
a
in
new pair.
Oh, now we know who it is.
Oh, it was slower this time. Oh, there,
No, there
that's,
we go.
that's the speed it was last time.
Yeah.
撃つな市街化をする
Yeah. And then he's like,
Smile.
He said
they didn't-
something.
Yeah, he
said
didn't
something
say.
last time. It's all quiet now.
Yeah. Yeah, then we have the flashback.
英雄になるんだ世界の敵皇帝ルルーシュ・ブリタニアから世界を救った救世主ゼロに
Aww.
そして生きることはもう何人並みの幸
Better hope no one can read lips on those cameras.
Yeah, I know.
I always thought.
Oh, we didn't get the flash.
Yeah.
Oh, she just sees a smile.
兄様
I like this music.
Scream.
魔王ルルーシュは死んだぞ人質を解放しろ
Smile. smiles.
Yeah. Oh no!
Alright. Everything was the same.
Yeah. The dialogue was a little bit different.
Yeah, but
they skipped things.
Meaningful change.
Okay,
right?
is this different?
No, that's Colin.
Mom.
Yeah, the
They
scene makes
skipped that.
Yeah, totally.
They'd be like,
God.
oh, Shirley.
Oh, she gets to be in the picture.
Is this Shirley's?
That
Oh,
sounds like this. Shirley's voice? Okay.
Actually, yeah, it is Shirley's voice.
I just saw Schneisel in the background.
Chilling.
He's in the white right there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and they set it off into the sky.
Yeah. To explode.
What a waste.
Yeah.
Could take it apart.
Who could they trust? Who could they trust to take it apart and not like steal some
Natalie,
parts?
by herself.
Natalie alone.
Credits.
Oh yeah, she's
CC on a horse. And Shirley? Why is Jeremiah with Shirley? It looks like the cart already passed.
Yeah. Lavender. I think.
Like bluebells.
And it's a donkey, not a horse.
Oh,
Next stage.
Well, uh-oh, that
that's
doesn't look good.
What is that?
Resurrection. That was like a helmet smashed to
That
pieces.
was Zero's helmet.
I know.
That's it.
That's okay.
Discussion. Yeah. So that ending right there is an analogy for the recap movies in that it was the same but slightly different.
Yeah.
But not in a meaningful way.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
They did not have to do 3 giant movies. They could have just like taken all the little pieces. Okay, so this part is different. This part is different, and they couldn't even like skipped all of that. I have to see the last movie to see if anything from the like changes they made make a difference, because anything they've changed so far did not change the plot in any way. I was expecting like, I don't know, alternate universe.
Yeah, they could have had one. Not even a movie, one OVA that did all that, just quickly flashed through all the changes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they didn't want to like butcher the feeling for some of it, but we all know it really was just to kind of capitalize on
Cash.
the fans.
Cash.
Because it's 2018, a good amount of years passed since the original release. So like, old fans, come check this out. That said, the only thing that I can see being a major difference for the Resurrection movie, which is it's very obvious what it's going to be about, Shirley.
Yes,
she's going to still be a waifu. That's what they want.
The waifu.
Although I'm wondering if, now that we've been through this and everything is exactly the same, I'm wondering if Resurrection is actually referring to Zero's resurrection, not Lelouch's.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's Lelouch. Just from like people
but he
commenting.
got stabbed at it.
Yeah, I know, but sees world and all that.
He got stabbed at it though.
I don't know.
From the comments that I've read, it's just people talk about Lelouch being alive as just a theory.
Right. Oh, okay.
Like, they talk about it like some people are more sure than others, but no one outright just says he's definitely alive.
Okay.
So
that's a good point. So
maybe
I
feel like in the next movie there's going to be a lot of situations where it hints towards possibly he did this, or maybe he's around.
But maybe he's not actually.
But now that you pointed out the whole Zero thing, and we did see the helmet at the end, but that's what I'm wondering, like, what is left that could have done this? Obviously anybody with a pistol could kill someone technically, but like something big or someone intelligent or someone dangerous is going to have to be the driving force for that movie. So what is left?
Maybe the fact that Nunnally broke her father's Geass would lead us to think, lead to maybe Schneisel at some point breaks the Geass and continues to pretend to be listening to Zero until he gets his moment or something like that.
But they did constantly reaffirm that Schneisel's personality is not ambitious enough to. He doesn't have will enough to break.
Versus Nunnally's reason for breaking and all that. That's true. Although in the movies they didn't like lean that much into the breaking the Geass thing as much. I think the only time it came up was Nunnally.
I will say it seems like Lelouch's Geass is stronger than his father's Geass in terms of like staying power, because even in the OVA with Akito the Exile, Lelouch was constantly like going out of his mind because of the Geass.
Yeah, that's true.
Because his brain couldn't reconcile the memories and stuff together, and what's her name? Nunnally just broke it, but she couldn't break Lelouch's Geass.
I think I can agree with that.
I think it could have something to do with the fact that the Emperor's is not rewriting. It's fake memories, like inputting fake memories. Versus Lelouch is like literally rewires the brain.
Yeah.
It could be that. So it makes it more permanent.
I thought it was something like that. With memories, there's like the necessity for continuity. So if the continuity doesn't match to what you've been told, whereas a command, you can just like slap yourself.
Yeah, the problem still comes back to Yuffie.
You don't have to.
I forgot about Yuffie.
Oh, what?
Yuffie still, it went against her nature still.
I mean, she resisted a little bit, like what's her name?
In the beginning and the end.
Like Nunnally did in the beginning, but she still.
It broke her. Yeah.
And she still did it.
Yeah, she did it in the end.
But like Nunnally, she did struggle with it at first. She was like, no, I can't do this. But, I'm thinking of the Geass thing. I was looking, and now that people had mentioned it, the guards still being Geassed and still being loyal to at least the idea of the Emperor, or rather Lelouch in particular, they're still Geass, and I wonder what happens now that he's gone. Do they start like forming groups to try to bring him back? Do they back people who promise to bring him back? Like their mind is pointed towards a thing, and there are hundreds of them, and they're all elite fighters.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, like, is whoever comes back, they wouldn't be alone necessarily, or at least I can see how they would get a following based off of that,
Like if Lelouch comes back, who would back him? You mean?
Well, yeah, or someone just with the promise of being able to bring him back. Because we know people who are Geassed, they're so focused on the goal that they don't reason.
No.
So I'm wondering if you could play with that if you know what you're doing, to make someone who's Geassed follow you.
That's a good point. Can you imagine that's exactly what comes up in Resurrection? You should write this stuff. I am excited to finally see something new, though. Yeah, I'm glad. I was like itching for this recap to be over.
Don't stab him as deep this time, Suzaku. To show us a way out, but no,
all the way through. Yes, completely deaded.
Kebab.
Speaking of which, so Zero kills him with the Britannian royal sword. Yes. So I didn't notice that the first time around. But I guess that's also to like rally the Britannians to be like, this is a patriotic move, or even on your side. The royal sword is slaying the guy who destroyed your culture.
Yeah.
And Shirley just straight up. Now I see why she had to die, because she just gets rivals.
Yeah, Shirley just gets rivals.
Off to the side for this entire thing.
She really was. I mean, in the beginning,
even in her earlier stuff, they just took her out. Like, we're not doing this today.
No, in the beginning, they brought her like little places, like, oh, here's Shirley, and then just dumps her after Jeremiah talks to her. It's like, okay, forget about you now. We're done. We dealt with your storyline. Completely done until she only gets one scene at the end when Lelouch is dying. And then, of course, she shows up in the letter with Cece's letter here.
I want to know Jeremiah's attachment to Shirley.
Yeah.
Because he's attached to her for some reason, and I don't know why.
Because he wanted her to be okay. He was like, I'm going to leave you alone. Live your life or whatever. So what was that about?
Oh, yeah, no, never mind.
I don't know. And then we see, obviously, the two of them are together. What are they out there doing? So the first thing that came to my mind is like Shirley ends up marrying Jeremiah.
Oh, that's weird.
Why? How? He's much older than her?
He's like 30 at least.
Okay. But still, it doesn't matter.
She's in high school.
No, she's not. She graduated. Millie graduated. She's probably graduated by now.
She's in high school when he's 30.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's weird.
It is weird, but it's a show. It's really...
she is still in school, though, because we saw her with the Callum at the end running towards school.
Oh, so she's much younger.
Yeah. I mean, Millie did get engaged to Lloyd while she was still alive.
Yeah.
It's an aristocratic
It's just a thing.
engagement. Though.
Yeah, it can be
Oh,
like...
yeah, but
For some reason,
really
it's less weird
I'm not
that
saying
way.
it's
Really?
not. I'm not saying it's not weird, but in their world,
It's really not weird in Kogias. That's what I'm trying to say.
But who says?
bah humbug.
Humbug.
We all looked out at the same
Yeah.
time.
Because I'm trying to find, what's the next
I'm
thing?
trying to read Ben's first stuff and remember the context in which like zero execution differences.
Oh, is that zero? I
Yeah.
wrote. I see euro.
Stop criticizing my handwriting.
Zero
Is that what that is?
execution.
No,
Disperse
zero,
difference?
zero execution difference. So I'm trying to remember what execution was different at the very beginning. Zero execution.
Okay.
Oh, the when they were when Schneisel is like Black Knights.
Yeah.
We gotta get Lelouch, so Lelouch goes to the middle of the room in the hangar.
Yes,
and that was different. Yeah,
Yes.
because this time the Black Knights were like, "Hold on, let's hear what he has to say," instead of just being like, "Gun him down."
Remember the coup?
Oh, yeah, okay, I remember. I didn't pay attention to anything that was different there.
Yeah, and Schneisel had his troops here to shoot as well. They weren't
Yeah.
there last time.
No.
Yeah.
And
Like, Schneisel
they
was
kind
there,
of
but
pushed
troops weren't
it.
there.
They kind of pushed it more than the Black Knights did.
Yeah, and he was like, let's hear his reasons. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
Last time they were not up for that.
No.
And I think that is also a symptom of, now I think it's a symptom of this entire universe, if called Geass. Half measures. Akira the Exile had a half measure too, where they're kind of in the door of where lore friendly and then out the door trying to make up the skull thing and the caretaker. Same thing here. They introduced Nigel to be in that room, to be the guy to actually gun Zero down. But it still doesn't make full amount of sense if the Black Knights were... Why were you ready to shoot him if you were willing to hear him out in the first place? Everyone's going to listen to Ogi. He's second in command, right? So it's either that you have them have a back and forth discussion without the guns of them trying to figure out what's going on, and they still break apart, because that could still happen with an argument. Or the Black Knights are still fully committed to shooting him, and Nigel's troops are just there to help. Because why would the Black Knights, there's still two separate organizations at war, right?
Yeah.
Why would they allow a separate organization to have their troops in the room to kill the leader that they're interrogating? That
Yeah, it
does
doesn't
not make sense.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like foot in the door, foot out of the door, trying to do something different.
Yeah.
But,
I also see, like, after watching all three of these, I think they were very afraid to make too many changes.
yeah.
I think they kept literally everything, and they just cut out key parts. And then the biggest things they cut out were like Callan's mother arc, which was just to develop Callan's feelings for why she was in the resistance, and her relationship with the mother, which kind of went away pretty quick anyways. And then all of Shirley was the biggest cut.
Mao, entirety.
Mao
right.
didn't appear. I forgot about Mao. But Mao was another thing that just basically developed Cece more. So, but I still like why did they cut out Shirley? I know that she wasn't super integral, but she made a big difference in Lelouch's like reasons for going all out.
Yeah.
And this one they just kind of had him just going down the evil road on his own.
Yeah. And it made for a lot of very odd moments, or at least in the context of the recap movies. Because if it was just a recap movie and it wasn't an alternate universe, a lot of things could be brushed off as we know it happened off screen.
Right.
But because they made the conscious choice of saying that these recap movies happened in an alternate universe, things like Rolo getting the locket after there was a whole moment of why... Yeah, he gave it to him off screen.
Like before we even see Rolo, he had given it to him.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
in
so
the originals. Yeah.
that made sense for why he snaps later, because when he thinks Nolan is dead, he's like, why would I ever have given this to you? You don't matter to me. But in this universe, because none of that stuff happened because it's also a universe, why would he ever give Rolo the locket
doesn't
when
make
Rolo
any
is on
sense.
his side already?
Yeah.
If Rolo was borderline, which it kind of was at the beginning in the original timeline, it made sense to reinforce his trust.
Right.
Here, we know that never happened.
No.
So there's no reason to give that. So
Yeah.
then when he does snap, it makes little sense. At least less sense.
I for that Rolo thing, I feel like they just didn't want to give a moment to Rolo of flashback, because it would have elevated him a little too much and taken away from time for the rest of the show. So they had to just make it a moment instead of making it a flashback.
But I feel like they could have done without the moment and put in the flashback. It would have taken the same amount of time.
I don't know. I feel like there's a different amount of gravity when you give someone a flashback. It makes them more important. And Rolo, they kind of made Rolo less important in this one. Like his death still felt good, like I mean,
Good.
I was gonna say good. It still felt heavy, his death, but he himself as a character is like he was only there to be the one to save him at the end there. Mm-hmm. It really was that. He didn't like make his presence felt as much as in the first one. Mm-hmm. So I feel like giving him a flashback was gonna make him more important than they wanted. That's the only thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Something I found hilarious is that I know what the scene is, but just seeing Ogi and Villette in that room by themselves with what's his name, Detard.
Yeah.
It was almost like she's like, yeah, he's the guy who's mean to me. It's like, all right, I'm gonna beat him. Like a high school bully. Yeah. And just beats Detard. That's their way of solving this issue.
Yeah, you shot her.
And they didn't have the scene with Villette telling Ogi that she was pregnant in this one.
No, we just see her pregnant.
Yeah,
I know we see the marriage picture come up at the very end.
Oh, I didn't look to see if it was different, but it probably wasn't. If the picture was different. No. If Shirley would have been there, now I want to go back. But anyway,
You good?
What was I gonna say? They also they cut a couple things with Lelouch and Shirley. Not Shirley, Nunnally. First of all, when he took the Damocles key from her, he kind of had his final goodbyes at that moment. While she was Geass. Mm-hmm. And then also when she touches him, instead of seeing flashbacks and confusing the heck out of everybody, she just sees his smile. And it's like, that makes more sense. And I like that better. She's a very observant person. Yeah. It makes sense that she would see him smile. It's like, wait a minute, you're smiling while you're dying? Yeah. That must mean, that's much better. And then we see this, nice little backsplash as she cries over his dead body.
And his speech was much shorter this time. This time he just said, destroy the world to create a new one. Yeah. Mm. Whereas he said a lot more.
As he was dying.
Like,
weirdly enough, it felt stretched out here, even though it was shorter.
Really?
I feel like the pacing was better in the previous one because it felt like they're doing the execution and then everything sped up with Suzaku. Because remember, I even pointed out Suzaku's first initial steps were slower in his scene. At least it felt like it. It felt like, all right, stop him, we got to stop him. And then there was a sudden stop, reveal, and then like a crashing wave of emotion was continually going. Everything felt like it was moving as she was dying.
What you mean.
Yeah. Whereas here, it was pause, explain, the music wasn't even there for a good portion of time, and then continue. Mm-hmm. Whereas the other one had like a slow motion effect of like everyone's flashing.
I agree. I did like the feeling of the other one. I just like that moment with Nunnally was the only thing I really liked better.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's surprising. I didn't care for that scene. Not that I didn't like it. I didn't have feelings towards that scene.
It didn't matter to you.
It didn't matter to me.
It bothered me. The flashback, I'm like, does it mean something? No. And the people in the comments are like, no, sorry. She doesn't have powers.
I still have Nunnally Geass.
Getting Geass powers.
I know. Geass headcanon. It's in there.
I know.
Funny, what I did miss between Nunnally and him was when she falls downstairs, he looks back.
Oh.
Because that is kind of a show of... Well, it's funny because we didn't need him to look back in the original because we had his inner monologue of he didn't want to do this. Mm-hmm. But here we didn't. But he doesn't look back. Yeah. So it's even colder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did look at his face this time and his face looked super conflicted.
Mm. I didn't see conflicted. I was looking for that on his face. He just looked angry to me.
Really?
I thought I was waiting even for him, like when she fell, I was waiting for him to like stutter in his step, and he didn't at all. Mm. Like nothing. Like that's one thing they definitely did here. They cut out everything that showed him having like conflictions in this scene at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Except for him kneeling there taking it from her. Like he didn't have to kneel. He could have just like grabbed it, but he knelt and took it from her. Mm-hmm. And that's like the only thing that was telling us his feelings in that moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, they're trying to cut everything down, so what are you gonna
do? In that moment where they were like, oh, we're definitely related, we're both like, you know what, let's create a point of hatred for the whole world.
Yes.
Nunnally is like, let's make this place the hatred. Lelouch is like, let's make me the hatred. Great job, Lelouch.
Yeah.
Adult had longer to stew on it, and she's more happy ending for everyone kind of POV, whereas he's just like whatever it takes, even if I don't get a happy ending.
Yeah. I mean, like he said right at the end there, the end flashback is like, if you're willing to kill, be sure you're ready to be killed.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I feel like Nunnally was ready to die there. she was ready to take the consequences of doing it. But I think being older brother and wanting a good life for her is like he was not going to let her take that sin on her shoulder. Although she already pressed the button and killed millions of people, he didn't want her to take on that guilt. He wanted to be the one. And I just thought that was good.
He's also had more time to think about this and formulate a plan, and
That's
he's
true.
also a grander strategist. So I mean, what she was doing at the end, it would have worked, but he's just like, my way's better. I've come too far to start now.
Yeah, what you said about them being so related, like wow, because I didn't get that. I don't think she said that in the first one, did she? About her plan of for the world to hate her. I don't remember that.
To hate
the
place.
Damocles. I think she did.
She did?
She said something to that effect. I think it was much clearer in this.
Yeah. Because I think it would at least been a flashback moment when we heard his plan at the end. Because I would understand most of it going over our heads, but at least a little bit of it would have been like, oh my gosh, just what not all this.
Yeah, that's why I was like, a lot of the dialogue is different in this one, because I'm like, I understand what they're saying this time.
Yes.
Wow.
Something that they did also change for the better was, I feel like Lloyd. Like Lloyd is.
He felt like I could
follow him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Empathize with him a little bit more.
Yes.
And he also seems, there was more reason to the madness, it felt like. Even just the small little changes. For instance, with Nina. Like, when he was with Nina and explaining to her, like, my heart wasn't there in this for a long time ago. From that, and then we got a scene of them both just sitting down, overlooking the cavern. Maybe that was there in the original as well.
I don't remember that scene.
It felt different.
Yeah.
So, him, when we see him later on horseback, also with Nina there, with Lelouch, it felt like he was helping Nina get through this.
Yeah, they kind of mentioned that before, that they were atoning, basically.
Yeah.
But with the extra scenes, you could feel him more.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't express it, it felt more like he was trying to do right.
I agree. I definitely I didn't actually pick up on the fact that they changed him that much, but I remember just the feeling of Lloyd was not like an enigma as much anymore. I think that is something that they did overall with the movies. They did clarify a lot of different little things. Now that we're talking about, I'm like, wow, they made a lot of things more clear. A lot of people's emotions, a lot of like reasonings and stuff, not as much hidden in the dialogue. Another thing that I remember like that is Emperor in the thought elevator talking to Lelouch. His philosophical jargon thing wasn't as long, number one, and it wasn't as complicated. Like I forgot to write it down, but I was like, I actually understood what he said. Now I get it. But I was so enthralled in I forgot to write down what he said. So I don't know anymore. But I just remember like I understood more. So they made a lot of things clearer that were happening. So I am happy for that.
Less time, you gotta be more concise.
True.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have time to stop and think about it.
Well, like, even we watched the whole series and I felt like, you know, like when somebody explains something to you, like they teach you a math formula, but then that other person teaches it to you and you're like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
And on YouTube,
Yeah.
we all know that guy.
Yeah, man. What was it? Khan Academy, that guy.
Yeah. Yes.
But
his name's Ken.
I actually have a genuine question. I have a genuine question for you too. Do you guys feel better about Nina?
She had less time on screen to annoy me.
Yeah.
And I the last time we see her, which is a conversation with Zero, she even offered to go with him at that point. Do you remember? And I was like, what? I don't remember that happening. That's was like, did I read it wrong? But then he was like, no, you have done enough or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like at that point I didn't hate her as much. Even when you were like, shut up, Nina, again. I was like, I didn't hate her there.
I think for me it's that I don't hate her as much as I did while watching the series, but I still don't like her.
Yeah, I still don't like her, especially during the shoot the flare, Suzaku. Yeah. Don't you want to save Japan? I was like, gosh, girl, please.
Yeah.
She got really annoying there, and then when she was all devastated, that was so clashing.
Yeah.
It was a lot better in the original because we had more time to see her develop.
It's like the intrusive thought versus the result. It's like throw your phone out the window. Yes. No.
Yes. Basically, that's what it looked like, and it was a little too harsh that screaming shoot the flare to oh my gosh what have I done? It was too like sudden.
Yeah.
But that kind of helped me deal with her afterwards. Like at first I was like, ugh, really, Nina? And then later when she was like atoning or whatever and she was all calm, it's like, okay, I don't hate you as much now. So I definitely handled her better in the movie, but I don't think they handled her well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I felt similar. Like in the original series, I didn't ever really I didn't like her, but I never really hated her. But here, it did feel like maybe that scene with Lloyd was more helpful. It did feel like there was a moment of pause after the destruction, and I can kind of appreciate you wanting to do that thing, and then when she did the thing, she recognizes the result was not what she wanted, and she immediately tries to correct it. There wasn't even a moment of denial from her.
No.
She was like, "This was wrong. I'll try this and move forward." So I could appreciate that.
Yeah. Whereas if it was Zero who did that, he'd be like, "Gotta double down."
Yeah. Basically, it's kind of like someone going after vengeance, getting the vengeance, and then being like, "Oh, what now?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. She's able to not only start changing her ways, she can work with the thing she was trying to kill because she can recognize she messed up that badly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That came up in that last moment in the conversation with her and Lelouch in the corridor. I felt like she was much clearer there. That's another thing that we're clearer on that whole conversation of why she worked with him, and that she hated Zero, but she even respected him at that point. It was something like that. Yeah.
I actually had a semi-question statement. So,
okay.
when Lelouch was arguing with his father in the thought elevator about, he was like, "No, we love you, blah, blah, blah." And then Marianne was like, "No, we would do anything for you." And they said, "But why didn't you stop the war in Japan?" My question was, I could have sworn that in season 1, it explained that the reason they had attacked Japan was not just a Sakuradai. They needed one of the thought elevator teleport things. I thought Japan had one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why did Marianne not bring that up?
Camino Island is
I thought it was Japanese island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a moment of all these wars of aggression. They're really trying to get to all these spots. So I thought that's what that was.
Yeah, I think because they dropped that whole arc. They didn't mention that at all.
Yeah.
This the whole thing.
That, and I think it's that it is Lelouch is saying you didn't even care that we were there,
right?
And you went ahead and did you were saying you were trying to protect us, but you put us in the place where you were going to destroy.
Yeah,
and you didn't care.
Yeah, and that's why they were like, oh, "You're right," kind of reaction.
Yeah, I can get that. It's just from the pattern of the way that they were building up that argument. It's just I feel like she would have mentioned it. Like, maybe we've just figured out this is where the island was. But in truth, it is true that they at any point could have withdrawn them before invading.
Yeah, just call them home. Because it's not like they were extradited. It was just like, go live there as our pawns. That's what it was.
I think they were exiled, weren't they?
No. I don't know in so many words. Were they exiled? Because I thought he was just like, you're just going to be a pawn of the king. You're going to be a puppet. I don't know that he was
they
like.
could come back.
It was he's basically exiled, but it was a bargaining chip, like a chip of goodwill to the Kururugi administration.
And hostages, the hostage is meant to be. We will not attack you as long as you have this person.
Yeah,
the understanding being that you will kill them if we attack.
Right.
So.
Right. That's why it doesn't feel like exile to me, because if they're supposed to be valuable, you wouldn't broadcast that they're exiled. You know what I mean? So it would have to be like a between you and me. I hate you. You're exiled, but you're gonna be a pawn. Yeah, so in the eyes of the world, he's still technically legitimate pawn.
Even if you're exiled, you're still royal. You can't come home. But everywhere that you go, if they touch you, we will declare war.
I don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Even Avatar: Last Airbender, Zuko, he was still a prince of the Fire Nation, even though he could not go back home. He was exiled,
yes. Yeah.
It's something like that.
Okay.
And he still did have command of,
wherever he went.
This is true.
Okay.
You just got kicked out of your house, basically.
Not paying rent.
Not paying rent.
Brolo.
What a Rolo.
I do want to say that crying scene with Nunnally at the end there still breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's cheering happy and Nunnally knows the truth and is just bawling her eyes out. Her cry is just louder than everybody else.
Yeah, it felt symbolic for some reason that, like, one person is, like, crying at the top of their lungs while everybody else is cheering. And I'm like, it's symbolic for something.
It is something.
It's for something. I don't know what it is.
Well, the world is finally united.
Yeah.
Like, only one person is miserable. This is a victory.
Yeah.
You know? But
What's that book? The Children of Omelas?
what?
The Town of Omelas?
I don't know that book.
It's like a book where there's this town where everybody is absolutely happy. Everybody gets everything they want. There's no crime. Everybody's taken care of. But to do that, there's one person who has to be absolutely miserable at the bottom of the town. And everybody, once they become a certain age, they know they're taken and they see the child and they know that this is the price for their happiness, basically. And one day, I think one day people decide they're going to break out the child, but even though they do that, they know that they're
Happiness will
removing
end.
the happiness from everybody else. So it's like basically Lelouch is the child of Omelas.
Is that an old book?
I have no clue.
Because I've seen that concept in other media. In a DC comic, there was a perfect planet that the Green Lanterns had to go check upon because they heard about the fact that nothing bad ever happened here, which is normal for a while. They're like, okay, whatever. But it turns out, like, it's literally impossible for anything bad to happen. That they went there, and the guy was like, yeah, everything's fine. And he jumps out the window and just lands on the floor, but for whatever reason, he bounced off, and then they were perfectly able to heal him, and everything was fine. And it turned out that once you hit 18, they would show you why the world's like this. And they had like a dimensional warper kind of thing that shouldn't exist. But what it did is it swapped realities for the worst possible thing in the moment for the best possible thing. But it was stealing it from other places. So other universes were
getting
miserable.
the worst. Oh my gosh.
So like hundreds of other universes were being messed up. So like the reverse. But this one planet was perfect.
Wow.
Yeah. And the book ended with like the other universe just broken and invaded and like we're gonna kill all of it.
Right the wrongs.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, similar concept.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Shirley, I wanted to ask, what do you guys, from what we've seen here and the changes that have happened, even without the changes that have happened, what do you see as a seed to be an issue in the next movie? Things that were not resolved, or little things that were just there but not a problem. Even a Kid the Exile, because it's canon. Why did they go out of their way to say it's canon in both? Huh?
Well, you said Shirley, so Shirley
Maybe
has
it's
something to
just
do with
the
it.
rest of the world dealing with what Britannia's done in the rest of the
Oh.
world.
I just thought of it. Because I thought of it when I was looking at Jeremiah, and I was like, wait a minute, what happened to Jeremiah after this? And then I remember what happened to Jeremiah.
Oranges?
Yeah, I know. All the people who were on Lelouch's side and their faces were open. So Suzaku, obviously, but he died, right? And Jeremiah, I'm thinking, he escapes to the countryside, but like he still is like he's like pure blood or whatever. So is he just going to live his days like that? I wonder, especially with this ending with Cece, like, are they going to be looking for some way to either contact him or, I don't know, memorialize Lelouch, bring the truth out about what he did or something like that. I don't know. So I'm just thinking like Jeremiah is definitely going to do something. And then obviously Shirley, because she was on the paper.
Yeah, what was that paper?
It was a little letter,
like an invite
like an
something.
invite, yeah, a fancy invite. But it was Jeremiah and Shirley, both their own signatures. Did you notice it was two different types of handwriting?
Yeah, I'm trying not to imagine it's a wedding.
I know. I know. Hush. It's okay.
We could go back and just like see the contents. Of,
You have
I'm
to,
not going.
you have to go all the way through.
Yeah, no.
But
do that on a computer.
a couple things that I saw is now thinking about the guards. Jeremiah could have just broken the Geass on all of them. Now I think
Yeah,
about
that's true.
I forgot he has the Chancellor.
it. Yeah. But then also we've got things where like when Snizel and whoever that guy is, we're going through the elevator and talking over strategy. Like we can just build another Damocles and like, but the Trollman Agency doesn't have the resources. So the Trollman Agency is still out there. They're weak, but they're still out there, and they were loyal to another group. But then also he said, Trollman Agency or Rosenberg. Rosenberg. Who the hell are they? And we don't have.
It
any
sounds
info on
more
them.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. We know they don't have the resources, But if they were a research facility or weapons facility like the Trauma Agency was, and they weren't building Damocles, their resources were something else. So I'm wondering if that will come up. Like, what were they doing?
Also, if no, never mind. I just remembered they're all dead.
Classic.
Except
Yes.
we don't see this part happen. Remember Lelouch after he Geasses his entire family, all 189 million. I don't know how many of the royalties, the royalties that were in the room. He Geasses them all. They all end up like working as maids and butlers for him.
Yeah.
And they were all at Pendragon, which gets blown up by Schneisel. We don't see that actually happen.
Oh yeah, we did.
No, we see the bombs, but we don't see like them all just there.
Right.
You know, so we don't know where they are technically. Did they all die there? Because technically they could have been like off doing jobs for Lelouch.
My headcanon, what was his name?
Odysseus.
It was off somewhere else.
Yes,
he was
living his best life.
You said that already.
He was in the canon one.
In the canon one?
Well, because no, I don't mean like we know he's okay. I just mean that we know he wasn't at Pendragon because he was training.
Oh, he was training.
He was
that's
off
right.
At a military base.
But you sure he wasn't in Pendragon training?
I'm not. But I feel like they made a point of showing
him training.
The others were in Pendragon. We knew for a fact because they're like, they're based in the palace,
right.
the royal palace,
right.
which is in Pendragon.
Right.
But we just saw him training in a military base.
Right.
That could have been anywhere.
That's true.
He looks so happy.
And also, there's like 97 kids or something like that.
Yeah.
Royal.
You know, I was gonna say 99.
How does he have the time?
There's a lot of kids.
How does he have the time?
17 wives or something like that.
That's not enough.
But that was also a point of contention. Several of the siblings we did not see in the maid outfits, and some of them we did not see at the palace. So there are a couple that could just be out there, because we also know that there were a couple who were just viceroys of other countries.
Yeah, ambassadors and stuff.
I know, for instance, that there was one that I never looked into too much in case she came up, but I know there was one who was the viceroy of Spain, who is actually a thing in the manga, but she never came up in the show. So they have seeded that there could just be royals out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just because Lelouch is like, listen, nobility is no longer a thing. And they had rebellions. Remember, their man was like squashing them, so that's still out there.
Yeah. So there's plenty of people like available to just hate this happy-go-lucky world with no like monarchies anymore.
Yeah. I mean, he bought the world some peace for a time because everyone's exhausted from all these wars, and and the Sakura Dai was destroyed in Mount Fuji. They can't really rely on that anymore. Right. But conflict will come back eventually.
Yep.
And the seeds are there.
It's humans.
Yeah.
Indeed. I think that is all I have.
Me too.
Other than the fight with Waldenstein with Suzaku the first time when Suzaku was at the cave for the thought elevator, Waldenstein didn't open his eye at that time. No. He did in the series.
I thought he
twice.
I don't know. He didn't pop it open. It was almost opening. Like it was
glowing underneath.
It was glowing. That's what it was. But he didn't open it.
Yeah, we were wondering like, wait, is he have a Geass? Because we saw the glow.
Yeah.
But we didn't. I'm pretty sure we didn't see it till later in the fight.
Oh, okay.
I would, however, like to say I fully understand that Suzaku is probably the best knight of the round, but I just want to say I do feel like he had a huge leg up because of the Albion, and we didn't get a fair shake of the other knights of the rounds because they were in previous generation nightmares. They had no idea what they were in, and because of that, I would like to give Bismarck a bit of a bump in rating. This imaginary rating of power.
Yes,
I think scaling. He might have been better than Suzaku.
Perhaps. I mean, he out of the nightmare. He was legitimately better, which, wow. He can point 0.3 seconds.
Yeah. Well, see, it was crazy.
Well,
It's just, I really enjoy power rankings for fighters. And I looked it up, and a lot of people put Suzaku like an easy, no contest at top.
No.
But I feel like people discount the fact he was in the Albion, which moved faster than light, it seemed like.
Yes, I will agree. I will agree with that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I feel like the other knights, they got done dirty. They were not as bad as people make it out to be.
Yes, because Suzaku straight up said, I cannot beat this guy.
Yeah.
And my Geass, which keeps me alive, is telling me to run.
Yes, yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
You have anything else?
No, I'm good.
So. Oh, all right.
Go ahead.
You go.
Jeremiah Babushka doll still happened, and I'm
Yes.
very happy.
Yes, I'm so happy that I feel like I wish it got more the whole time because they cut to it and then cut away and it kind of broke the momentum. But it was still in there, and that's all I'm happy about. I'll be happy. I'll take what I get.
I gotta say, no wonder the thing's impossible to control. It's a mech in a mech. Who even did that? Why is there a mech inside the mech?
Just for this moment.
And then there's a mech guy. He's
Yeah.
part android now.
And now we're left to, I guess, speculate on what does the helmet with what looks like. I want to say it looked like something was smashing into it because if it was bullets.
Pew.
No, if it was bullets, it would have had to been some close to bulletproof. But we know that's not true unless he just gets a new one.
Now.
Maybe now it was.
Because his other one got.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
like, let me
saying.
fix that.
Make sure you can't take bullets next time. Yeah, so what is it that Suzaku retires the Zero because the world is at peace and goes off and, I don't know, gets a facelift or something? Or did someone actually, like, come at him and he couldn't beat them?
I would bet that after a period of peace, he just disappears. Because for a legend to be a legend, you can't show face too much.
No.
So I think he secured the victory of the world. Zero's worst thing to do is now become a leader of the world.
Yeah.
He just leaves.
Right.
And I think, like you were saying earlier, he comes back because a new threat arises that threatens the world's peace, and he has to deal with it.
He has to deal with it. Yeah. All right, I'm excited for the resurrection.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see the resurrection a whole week early and you're up on YouTube, you can check that Patreon out in the description, and we'll get back to a more normal format for these reactions. I know these reaction videos have been edited in a strange manner. I'm sorry if it's a little hard to follow sometimes, but I did say that I was going to cut out moments that we have already reacted to or we have a bad reaction to, which that happens quite often when you've seen something a million times. So thank you guys very much for being here. If you like your time here, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Remember to comment down below if anything that you saw or that we didn't notice. I will tell the others if it's cool. And we'll see you in City. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
A special thanks to our patrons, Andrew, Danilo, Tyler Costin, and Deli.